What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So, you guys know that I've been doing these, reviews, reactions, and first off, I want to say rest in peace to Coach Opus. Right? I think his first name was Marcus, if I'm not mistaken. But I wanted to maintain respect for these guys, and Coach T, or Tarquez, I think that's how you pronounce it. I spoke to him on Instagram and asked him if it was okay if I covered their channel, and he said, "Bro, you have my full blessing." So here we are. But I know that many of my community watch them, so I want to make sure that you guys knew that I was being respectful of Coach Opus. So rest in peace to him, and I hope Coach T is okay. I apologize for the bad still I'm giving you if you watch this video. But of course, when I heard about it, it shocked me, and I didn't want to be disrespectful by asking what happened or anything like that. We used to, we once in a while would just send love back to each other. I don't even remember how long, maybe it was like 2 years ago or something like that. It was when they were, first really starting to get a lot of views. I'm not sure who did most of the messaging between them, but I got messages or not messages, but comments on my videos from them, and I gave love right back. They were kind, respectful, so I wanted to show love back, and we just kept in touch randomly here and there on Instagram. So that's why I'm doing this, and I say hi to him once in a while. Hi to Coach T on the left. I say hi to him, once in a while to make sure he's doing all right. And we don't know each other personally, in real life, but they were always respectful. So, I just wanted to make sure that you guys in this community, this breakup community, it's actually a lot smaller than you think. I want to make sure you guys knew that. And I want to make sure he knows that. And I got his full blessing. So I went and I messaged him before I told him that I was going to do this. And I said, "Look, man, I do these sometimes, especially lately." And he was like, yeah, it's okay. Cool. So without further ado, let's do it.
So today's video is all about why my ex is silent. After the breakup, there's a little bit of a cooling off period because breakups are a very emotionally heightened situation, and then the dust settles and things kind of go dark, especially if you go no contact. So by the time you finish this video, you'll understand why your ex being silent is actually nothing to panic about.
Agreed.
But you'll actually see why it's something that you want to happen.
Just today, I actually received a success story. I'm gonna put it in a talking head video. I moved my light that I do my recordings on. So instead of me pointing to this door and I say, "Get the fuck out of here," tell the girl to get out of here when she, demands some bullshit, it's going to be over there now. So a talking head video is coming soon, guys. Yeah.
So you got to keep in mind when the breakup happens, it's something that they've been thinking about for a long time. Breakups don't just happen. Maybe if you get caught cheating, it may just happen, but normally breakups just don't happen.
Breakups that are sudden are usually because of a sudden, intense moment. Cheating being one of them. Violence, of course, is another one. If the woman finds out something about you, in this case, a man being a woman leaving a dude, that can happen too.
They slowly get turned off by you, and they spend a lot of time thinking, how should I break up with them? When is a good time to break up with them? Should I break up with them? So when the breakup actually does occur, and all that build up and all that how, when, and where they're gonna break up with you actually finally comes out and they do break up with you, it's almost as if they're relieved. Wow, finally got that over with. I can finally move on with my life. It's a whole new chapter. I can move forward with things now. Right after the breakup, it's like they feel good about it. They feel pretty confident, like they made the right decision at first. They think they did the right thing. Everything's going smooth. Now I can move on, and everything is going to be good from here on out.
And they're content with their decision, because if you go no contact, you're reversing all of the detrimental things that you've been doing. And I know them going silent is going to freak you out a little bit because of the fact that there's nothing. There's no more text. There's no more calls. There's no more contact with your ex. And this is someone that you've been spending the majority of your time with. This is your best friend, and now it goes dark and you're a little bit afraid by that. But don't be afraid of this, because this is, like I said, this is the dust settling. This is your ex being content with their decision. This is your ex being relieved about their decision to break up with you. So, and understand, this is your ex going dark because they have to move on with their life, and they have to move on and be content with the decision that they made to end the relationship. And I know that's tough. This is something that you don't want to be silent about. You want to fight for them. You want to try to get them back. But after a certain point, you see that you've pushed it to the limit, and there's nothing that you can do to try to influence them because you've done everything to do it, and your ex has to move on. So right now, this period of them going dark, they're content with how they feel and they're solid in their decision. And right now, there doesn't need to be any communication. And
so let me add a little bit to the whole fighting for them, right? Because he's not saying that, but a lot of guys, this is why doing these reviews helps, because it sparks ideas. So a lot of guys will come to me and they'll say, hey, like, you know, I wanted her to know that I wanted to fight for her, blah, blah, blah. What you guys need to understand about women is when they lose attraction for you, I had another student do this not too long ago, and he was asking for help through email. And when he sent me what he said to her, right? And I was like, this is not going to help you. And what he basically did is he was like, it was a clean slate message, a clean slate letter, basically. And I said, dude, like, this is not going to help you. You're logically trying to explain away how she feels, and her feelings aren't just going to come back. Okay. So when guys say, oh, I want to fight for her, that's the bullshit Disney lens that you've been programmed to have. And you need to take a step backwards and go, man, this person's literally choosing to not be with me. Right. And when you understand things from that lens, right, you're going to start really valuing your own time a whole lot more, because someone is choosing. Yes, maybe you did turn them off. Let's come with that angle. I want to stick to the bread of the video. But that person decided to kick you out. So you chasing them, especially while they're in this silence mode, is only going to make it worse. So fighting for them, don't do that. I know many of you guys are going to see this and be like, oh, I already fucking did that. But if you catch this in time, don't do that.
Another reason why your ex is silent after the breakup is because maybe they just started dating again. Maybe they're in a rebound relationship, or they're in a genuine relationship. Maybe they've healed.
Let me pause right here so I can read it, because I know I'm covering a bit of this. So let's go right about here. I don't want to cover anybody's face. Research indicates 90% of rebound relationships end within 3 months.
It's been a couple of months after the breakup, and they're into something new now. And I know that's the hardest part to endure, because maybe you have mutual friends, or maybe you talk to their family, or maybe you just see it on social media. And this is hard because they're not just telling you that they want to move on, and they haven't just physically moved on, they're actually committed in a relationship, and it's further solidifying the fact that they have moved on. And I know this is tough because it's not a reality that you want to accept, but your ex is silent because they're committed to someone else, and they have officially put you in the past. And this is a difficult stage to endure.
But also, you got to keep in mind, they may be a little conflicted about their decision. You know, you're always going to have that doubt in the back of your mind. Are they doing the right thing? Did they make the right decision?
39.
Sometimes, yeah,
shit.
first,
That said, let me go back. I want to be cool. All right, let's put this back up here. You know what? Let's put this here for now. Make it a bit smaller too. We're doing this on the fly, y'all. Okay. So I'll put that there for now.
Maybe a little conflicted about their decision. You know, you're always going to have that doubt in the back of your mind. Are they doing the right thing? Did they make the right decision? Sometimes, yeah, at first, it may feel like the right thing to do. Sometimes they're 49, 51% sure that they made the right decision. You got to keep in mind, even if they are dating somebody else, you already spent all that time together. So there's a good chance that they are still thinking about you, and they're still comparing apples to oranges. They're still comparing you to the new person that they're with. There's that newbie phase where they're still trying to get to know that person, and they're still thinking about the breakup between you two. Could things have been different? They see you improving, and do they want to give you another chance? Is this new person that they're with somebody that's really a genuine person, or are they just putting on a complete front just to kind of get them, you know, to build that chemistry between them. You know, is there a mask on that's going to come off in a few weeks? You know, so they're kind of critiquing this person and comparing them to you, and they're always doing that. Even if
Let me actually point that out real quick. I got into a relationship with a girl 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago now. Damn. And she was so when I got into a relationship with her, a huge red flag, and this is before I knew any of this shit, so don't hate. But basically, she kept talking about her ex-boyfriend. She kept saying that, oh man, you know, this guy, she'd say his name all the time, and I knew in the moment, and I knew in my gut that I shouldn't be with this girl, but I ignored it. And basically, that was the issue, right? And I got with her, and he broke up with her, and then her and I got together like I think a month later, and I found this out after, right? And that's what happened. So he's talking about her being conflicted. It's true, okay? So if she had her way, she would have broken up with me and went right back to him. So she was still feeling the breakup. She was still, you know, but that's how you know, because sometimes that girl is unsure about it, but instead of just, you know, trying to, look, women, a lot of guys bash women for this. Why didn't she try to tell me? So I could fix it? That's not how emotions work. Okay. Yes, women shouldn't expect us to fucking read their minds, because they do expect that, but it's up to us men to stay on top of our game. So there's kind of like this two ways to look at it. Women could be better at communicating what's going on with their feelings, and sometimes they do, and men don't fucking listen. That's true. I've done that. But also, women and men should be staying on top of their shit. So the number one reason I get from my students is complacency. They get during COVID, especially. It was a big one. So
they're kind of critiquing this person and comparing them to you, and they're always doing that. Even if the breakup ended on a bad note, they're still going to be thinking about you. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily always going to be a good thing, but they're always going to be thinking about you.
And we just spoke about this with a client in a session we did right before we shot this video, that he's still speaking to his ex, where they're on good terms. I want to preface that. They're on good terms, but she's in a committed relationship, and he is moving on with his life, but he still has feelings for her, and she has still many feelings for him, despite the fact that she's in a new committed relationship. Because this is going to happen. Nothing is cut and dry. Because someone is breaking up with you and they say that they want to live a life without you, doesn't mean that their feelings for you weren't valid. The love that they had wasn't valid. And no one just is able to cut off their feelings for someone, though the relationship is severed. Only those who are narcissists, perhaps. But the thing is, if you're a decently emotionally healthy person, you're not just going to cut off your feelings. People just can't compartmentalize their feelings like that. So they're still gonna have a lot of feelings for you, though they are committed with someone else. The love is still there. By time passes, yes, that love will fade, but they will still have a soft spot for you. But the thing is, knowing that is in the dynamic, you still don't want to act on that. Though you know your ex loves you, and you'll hear this a lot. Your ex may reach out to you out of the blue to maybe wish you a happy birthday, or they may hear a song that reminds you of them in the relationship. And they'll reach out and just to say hello, but it's not just something that you want to take and grasp on, because it's just them expressing their feelings in the moment. They may even say, I still love you and I hope you're doing okay. I just wanted to check on you. But this is not enough to really take an inch and go that extra mile, because they are still committed.
So if your ex is going silent on you guys, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe before we move forward, all right? Hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you guys have any questions about what we're saying, feel free to leave a comment down below.
And another reason why your ex is silent is because they're actually afraid that you're moving on. If you've been following everything that we teach and everything that we talk about in these videos about going no contact and about walking away from your ex to generate attraction, they're going to feel that absence. Whether they're in a relationship with someone, or maybe they're just single and still just, in the healing phase of the breakup, they're going to feel your absence. And what you are doing is you're rewiring everything that you've done before. You're giving your ex an emotional spike through your absence. I know it's kind of a weird concept to understand, that absence will provoke an emotion, a great, huge emotion in your ex, but it does, because you're doing, the things that are detrimental that we always talk about. We don't even need to go into detail about them, but you know what you're doing to go.
Let me reinforce that. Every single time I've been through breakups before, and some of my students have, and when they catch it in time, I tell them to do this exact thing, and they immediately understand, okay, me chasing isn't going to work. And that's why reading the books is important. They're all in the description box down below. Okay. But when you pull away, right? Here's one thing I'll tell you. When you chase, you're guaranteed to unless they have some sort of issue, right? Like their mental health isn't all together or whatever, they will 100% walk away if you continue to chase and not give them space and respect them. But if you take time, give them space, let them chill, okay? What will happen is they're going to have time to think and analyze what they're feeling. Every single time that I went through this, they all came back. They all came back. And the reason why is because I was like, look, if you don't want to be with me, then go away. You know what I mean? I was that blunt about it. I don't recommend that you guys be that straightforward, that straight up. Especially in today's day and age, a lot of people are pretty fragile today. So you want to make sure that you just say, look, you don't want to be with me? Fine. Move on. That's the way I always did it. Okay. And a lot of my students do the exact opposite. What they'll do is they'll literally be like, okay, like what can I do? I'll change for you. Don't do that. Okay. Don't do that. You want to be very, as relaxed as you can be, which is very difficult. But you also, you want to be understanding. And like I said, if they're in a relationship, that's one thing. But if they're just breaking up with you, they're tired, especially if you were really in the wrong a lot, you want to give them a lot of time and space to think about stuff, because what'll happen is they will eventually get to a point where they're like, you know what? Maybe I made a mistake. If you do things correctly, I've had a lot of guys come to me after like 3 or 4 months of a breakup, and they've just been constantly pursuing and just digging that hole deeper and deeper. And I'm like, dude, like I'm sorry, but you might have been screwing up for too long. But I've seen a lot of things turn around even then. So let's continue.
Go totally dark and to go totally silent speaks louder than anything that you could say or any behavior that you can do to your ex to make them realize
silence is very powerful,
that you're actually moving on and you can live a life without them. And as a result, this gives your ex the feeling of this really is the breakup now, because before it was just one-sided. They wanted it, you didn't. They were firm in their choice, and now they're firm in their choice, and then now you're firm in the choice of walking away. Now something interesting happens.
Then they start getting to a point that you're not pursuing them. Understand, after a breakup, more times than not, the person that got dumped is usually gonna just, try to either manipulate their way back in or try doing the begging, crying, and pleading type thing to prove to their ex, I'm sorry for what I did, or hey, I can change, or whatever the case may be. But when you go no contact and you back away, what's gonna happen is the dumper is kind of gonna get mad that you're not pursuing them. They're gonna get mad.
That's a fact. I call this dumper's confidence. I think Coach Lee calls it dumper's arrogance. But they want you to chase them. They actually, some of them expect you to. So when you don't, it's a bit of a blow to their ego. And it makes them think, right? And that's what you want.
Not necessarily that you're not pursuing them, but they're mad that they possibly could have made the wrong choice, possibly that they messed up. And at the same time, you're not pursuing them. So it's gonna cause a reaction out of the dumper the moment you actually go no contact and you back away, which is almost a good thing, which is what you want to happen. Okay, just because your ex is mad and they're getting attitudes with you and they're calling you all types of names and they're pissed off at you, you gotta understand it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you gotta be able to understand breakups are hard. They're very emotional situations. There's going to be a lot of anger involved, especially depending on how the breakup occurred. So in a situation like that, especially if you're the dumpee, you got to understand, there's going to be a lot of anger involved. If you want your ex back, you got to be cool with it. You got to understand what's going on. You got to understand that the dumper or your ex is actually in an emotional phase right now. So at the same time, yes, they're going to be mad that you're not pursuing them. They're going to be mad that you're not trying. They're going to have all types of thought going in their head like, wow, they never liked me anyways. They really didn't care. If they really cared, they'd be pursuing me. But you got to understand, no context the way to go. And those emotional spikes that you're creating are actually a good thing.
And from those emotional spikes that you're constantly giving your ex through your absence, they will miss you, because your absence will provoke nostalgia, and it will be able to wipe the lens totally clean for your ex to be able to look from a purely objective standpoint about the relationship. And they'll come to a place where they realize that the breakup was just a small slice of your relationship. Your relationship could have been 4 years and the breakup could have happened just over the course of 3 weeks. And you're doing a lot of things that push them away, a lot of the negative, unattractive things that push them away. And then now, since it's been 4 months since the breakup and you've gone no contact for 4 months, now they have about 5 months really of distance from the relationship for them to realize, wow, you know what? That was just a bad spot for them. And honestly, they were really a good person. They were really a great partner. And I really miss them now. I really made a bad decision about breaking up because it was just a bad argument that we had.
To reinforce that a little bit more, if you work on yourself during this period, a lot of guys don't. But if you do, right, it's not even about explaining it. See, a lot of guys will get, how does she know that I'm going to work on myself? It doesn't matter. Her knowing doesn't matter. But if you do, you're actually going to be improving and getting better and smarter and understanding why you got to where you were, especially individually. Individually, see, a relationship is not just this extra thing. It's two individual people coming together. It's not like this separate entity, okay? There are times where you are going to be cool and she's not, and she's going to be cool and you're not. Especially as a man, in today's day and age, men really hit their stride in their 30s. Your 20s are almost about figuring it out. If you hit your stride in your 20s, great, good for you. But I coach a lot of guys, and a lot of guys just don't want to be where they're at in their 20s. And they have this goal and this aspiration and this want and need, this internal, energy to move upwards and onwards in their 30s, in their life. But you hit that in your 30s. I did. I turned my whole life around at 27 and started this YouTube channel and my other blogs and stuff, started my media company, right? And then through that, I, made a lot more money. I, found my mission, what I wanted to do. And it doesn't even have to be this grand mission or this grand big thing. But when you are able to cultivate that energy and really be the best individual version of yourself, you're going to attract higher quality women. And if it's an ex you're trying to get back, it's not even about explaining or showing to them through social media that you're this fucking larger than life, extraordinary thing. It's just about actually cultivating that energy for yourself. So whenever they do come back around, you have some shit to talk about. How about that? A lot of guys that come to my coach, I'm going to be blunt with you guys. They're not that interesting. They're just like every other guy. Now, of course, it's like, I'll be like, okay, what's your mission, right? What are you trying to do with your life? I still live at home. And I'm like, dude, like, and I get it. Some of them are young guys. I get that. But they don't have the aspiration, the want, okay? And this is, I think, where a societal thing maybe, and that's for a whole other video. But you guys want to be cultivating that energy and really working on yourself, okay?
I really missed them now. I really made a bad decision about breaking up because it was just a bad argument that we had. I handled it pretty poorly and they handled it poorly, and that just made me, be pushed away a little bit further. But I'm realizing that they were really a good guy. I went on a couple of dates and I'm not really digging the single life too well, and I really missed them. Whereas before, when you're in the throes of a breakup, you're saying a lot of nasty things, you're saying a lot of things that you may not mean, and it's coming from a place of desperation, and your ex gets pushed in a corner. It's too much pressure. So it just further validates their decision to leave you. But when you pull away and they have a lot of time to rethink the breakup, they're sitting with that silence. They have a lot of time. They have the ability to really think about things from a holistic point of view and look at your relationship in totality rather than just a slice of a breakup for 3 weeks. And then at that point, that's when they start to miss you if you've been doing everything right. And that's the number one thing. You need to follow the rules of no contact and understand why you need to walk away, because you do want your ex to miss you and you do want them reaching out, but you don't follow the protocol correctly, you won't get to that point. And that's why you need to watch this video to the left, because it drills down the point of what it takes to get your ex to reach out to you and to get your ex to miss you. So go ahead and click that link to the left and we'll see you on the flip side.
Peace.
So you guys obviously won't be able to click on that, okay? So, but if you guys want to watch the original video without my commentary, I'll have it in the description box down below. But if I forget, just look up Black Book Basics, okay? So, good video. I've got to grab some thumbnails, so I'm just going to do that. Okay. So, honestly, at the end of the day, they're silent because they need time. time and space and etc. But it's the worst thing in the world for you, because all you want to do is fix it. Especially us guys, we're fixers, we're pleasers. You know, I don't mean pleasers in like a bad way. We just don't want drama. We want peace. Men want peace. Okay, most men. And at the end of the day, it's very difficult to deal with somebody that you are so emotionally are attached to, but you know they don't want to be around you, right? It sucks. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comment section down below. Again, rest in peace. And I hope Coach T on the left is doing okay. But rest in peace, Coach Opus. Okay.